Hello. I am back from my 4-week European vacay. Back on the mic, back at the desk, back straight full throttle back into work. But it was such an amazing break, even though I didn't actually take a break from my newsletter. And I had planned to plan out my newsletters, but of course, the topics that I'd planned while I was away and I'd kind of started writing my newsletters on, I kind of put them in the bin and I just chose to write whatever I wanted to write about. So I was writing my newsletter consistently while I was overseas, but I was doing absolutely nothing else. I wasn't really on social media anywhere else. I wasn't creating content. I wasn't really in the inbox except for like maybe a glance here and there. And the trip itself was absolutely epic. It was such a good reset. Like I feel like I've come back. I feel super refreshed. It was a real reset. And I also have like a very clear picture of what 2026 will look like for me, which is really exciting and valuable in and of itself over and above the fact that I had a really awesome vacay. Some quick housekeeping before we get into the guts of this little chit chat. I am going to be putting these chit chat videos on YouTube from here on out. The reason that I'm putting these on YouTube, if you are interested and care about these like micro decisions that I make every day, Substack has literally no analytics when it comes to audio and video embedded in newsletters. And I find that incredibly annoying because, you know, I spend time putting these audio and videos together and I have absolutely no clue if people watch them or listen to them. And if no one's watching or listening, then I won't continue to do it. But if people are watching and listening, then it's something that I might explore, you know, putting a bit more time and effort and intention into because they're relatively off the cuff. And to be honest, the other reason that I want to pop these on YouTube is that I've been toying with starting a YouTube for ages. I actually really enjoy speaking to camera in like a long form way, but it has felt very overwhelming and honestly just like another piece of content to add to everything that I'm already doing. But this feels like a really easy, achievable starting point to like get a YouTube channel up and running. As we've all seen by now, and as I wrote about in my newsletter, Elon Musk recently came out and said that the future of work is that work will be optional. And as I wrote about in my newsletter, on face value, this actually seems like it could be a really good thing. You know, having a society where all of the menial functional tasks required and repetitive tasks required for society to function holistically and efficiently being outsourced to AI, robots, automation, etc. sounds like a good idea, which in theory will allow everyone on planet Earth to kind of be creative, tap into hobbies and interests and uncover their purpose and fulfill that purpose. It's a really interesting question to contend with because I think about this for my own self, right? Like I am a writer first and foremost. That is my purpose. I feel incredibly connected to writing and the impact that I have through sharing those ideas. But if I didn't have to write, would I still write? If I didn't have to build my own business, would I still continue to? And I would say yes, because at the moment I don't have a direct financial incentive to write and show up on Substack every week. I'm not earning money from my Substack directly. It's not behind a paywall. I do it because I love it. Although in the same breath, I would be lying if I said that the only reason that I'm getting up and writing and building my business and my portfolio career is because I love it and I feel fulfilled by it. There is still huge financial incentive for me to get up and do what I'm doing because sadly I have not won the lottery, at least not to my knowledge. And so I still need to show up each day and kind of contribute and add value to the world. If that financial incentive was completely gone, would I have the same level of motivation? I think so, but I don't know that for a fact. And I think a world where work is completely optional would be incredibly destabilizing for people who build their identity around work, like me. And to be honest, probably like most of us in the modern world. And I think it goes beyond just identity, to be honest. For me, getting up and working and contributing and adding value in this way is about satisfaction. Like it's about feeling a sense of progress. It's about feeling a sense of self-actualization. It's about reaching my potential. It's about doing all the things that I know that I can do and having the impact that I know that I can have long term. That is an incredibly fulfilling thing for me. It makes me happy. I like being busy. I like feeling like I'm working towards a bigger goal. So for me, in a world where work is optional, I would 100% still opt in, but I think I'm saying that from a position or a place rather of loving what I do and feeling really, 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 really connected to the impact that my work is having, which I understand is a really privileged position and place to be. I think it's a really interesting thought experiment to run. In a world where work was optional, what would you do with your time? Would you be doing what you're doing now? Would you be doing something else entirely? Would you fall into a place of apathy? I think that's a real risk. There's obviously like a lot of nuance and complexity that I didn't go into in this article or even in this video chat. And honestly, I'm not a futurist, I'm not an economist, but I do think this space of the future of work is super interesting. And I'm really interested about how portfolio careers fit within this broader theme of the future of work and like how we can future-proof our skill stack so that when the future inevitably arrives, we're prepared, both in terms of skills, but also in terms of our psychology and our mindset. That's pretty much me for this week, but it is so, so lovely to be back here in this kind of more casual conversational format. And I will see you next week. Bye.